if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you better turn the searchlight inward. And if you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Search me, oh God, and know my heart. Yes, try me, oh Savior. Know my thoughts, I pray. See if there be some wicked ways in me. Oh, cleanse me from every sin and set me free. If you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. And if you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. I want to live right. I want to walk right. I want to live right. Live right. Walk right. Walk right. Live right. Talk right. Walk right. Live right. Live right. Tell the preacher man. Walk right. Tell the preacher man. Live right. Live right. Walk right. Walk right. Live right. You want to make it in. Walk right. Live right. Live right. Come on, preacher man. Walk right. Come now, preacher man. Live right. Live right. Walk right. Walk right. Live right. Talk right. Walk right. Do the will of God. Live right. Do the will of God. Walk right. Do the will of God. Live right. Do the will of God. Walk right. Live right, my Lord. Live right. Walk right, my Lord. Walk right. Talk right, my Lord. Live right. Come on, preacher man. Walk right. If you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord.
Yes, indeed. Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. Those of you locally, regionally, internationally, It is 5 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. And I am Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Of course, we'd like to say a good night to those of you joining us via the various mediums. Those of you joining us via 92.9 Sister Isle FM. Those of you joining us via 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. Of course, it is Thursday night, so We Real FM is not with us tonight. But we also like to say a special good night to those of you joining us on the YouTube. Just remember to hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button. Right, that the thumbs up. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. That the like button. Make sure you hit it once. If you hit it twice, you take off the like. Right. Also, those of you on Facebook, we say a special good night to you. Let me start with those on Facebook tonight. Let me see who is there. Sunny Isle, Marlon Ferguson, Anna Lewis, Norman Noel, Errol Bonaparte, Esther Peters, Peter Striker Lewis, and let me see, Claude Abraham, good night to you, bro. Cynthia B, and Denise Fabio, good night to Long Island. John Mark, good night to you. Cindy Charles, Shemi Joseph, good night to you. Linda Imelda Francois, good night to you, my dear. Errol Bonaparte, good night. Dixie and Victor, start lacing up your boots, girl. Nice, you ready? Laslyn Douglas, good night. McLean Mitchell, good night to you. Winnie Simon, Olive McEwen, Wallan Aquat, Veronica Frederick, Etta Batiste, Kenrick Gibbs, Kingsley Paul, Yvonne Courtney, Jesse Sherry, Donna Langdon, Wallan Aquat, Martin Charles, Davis Charles, Anthony Peters, Amina Thomas, Junior George. Hey, Junior George, it's been a while I see you, brother. Well, no, not that Junior George, right? Right. Kishon McSween, good night to you. Teresa Gill, and let me see, Dwight Ferguson is there. Charmaine Ragbasing is there. Sherry Lambert is there. My good cousin, adorable Kathy Gilbert Levine, good night to you. And let me see who else is there. Right. Hey, Antonito. Antonito, you're easy. I hear you today. Nice. And on the YouTube, Agnes Henry and Kathleen Ledlow, Vanessa Lalji, Gemma Warwood, Alban. What's up, bro? Anne-Marie Celestine Grant, Phyllis Mitchell, Velma Pascal, Michelle Alexander, Maud Martin, Debbie Seals, Listra Abraham, Dominic Leroy, Ashma Charles, Matthew Bowen out there. Is it hot, cold? How the weather out there in New York, Brooklyn, brother? Here tonight. Herbert Norre, good night to you. Anne Andrews, Maria Noel, Veronica Lewis, Carl Jones, Faithlin Holly Douglas, Jackie Raymond, Jada Benjamin, Adrian Watts, good night to you and good night to your lovely wife. And let me see who else. Errol Bonaparte, I think I called you already. And Deborah Laborde, good night. Baby Daddy, Hermina Batiste, Sherma Alexander, Sherma Jeremiah, Arlene Fletcher, Teresa Joseph, Alcy Peter, Shirley and James, Gertrude Abraham, good night. And let me see, Carib Spice Fitness, good night to you, Christine Otley, Gloria Francois, Clive Raymond, brother Clive, what's up? Good life, good night to you. Eliza Bernard, good night. Mavis Mitchell, Janice Mitchell, Ron Julian, Faith Lynn, Hallie Douglas, Rick English, good night. Lydia Isaac, Wilfred Antoine, Alan Jones, good night to you and to Zoe and to Michelle. Jack Kitman, good night. Deborah Flanders, Antonito, I see over here too, right? Nice. Cynthia Bartholomew, Miriam Samuel, Devin James, and of course my good friends who usually message me on the WhatsApp, Joyce and so on. Good night to each and every one of you. I hope that you all are having an absolutely fabulous night tonight.
We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. I remember.
So folks, remember to like and share. Those of you on Facebook especially, like and share.
So good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us.
Yes, so as I said, those of you on the WhatsApp, good night to you as well.
That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house gets yellow, bus gets yellow, man gets yellow, even green gets yellow.
So folks, remember I did tell you that you're going to be having a new CEO of the transport board. So they finally announced what we announced last week. Yeah, that you have a government appoints the new CEO of the Grenada Transport Commission. The Grenada Transport Commission is pleased to announce the appointment of Mr. David Bartholomew, a distinguished Trinidadian national, as its chief executive officer. Mr. Bartholomew officially assumed office on the 4th of March. Well, I told all of that too, right? So we tell all of that last week. With more than 25 years of experience in fleet management, engineering and procurement, and 15 years in executive management and corporate planning, Mr. Bartholomew brings expertise and a proven track record to this vital role. His exceptional leadership, strategic acumen, and problem-solving skills position him well to drive the transformation in the transportation sector, etc., etc., etc. About Mr. Bartholomew. I just have one question in relation to that. We run out of Grenadians for jobs here, because I realize now the person in charge of our lands, Grenadian lands, yeah, the lands that your grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and my great-great-grandparents worked on as slaves, the lands that many of them struggled for years to buy and so on, and the lands of Grenada in general, yeah, are not being administered by a Grenadian, they're being administered by somebody. No, I have no problem with regional integration. I just find it to be very, very strange that all of these positions that are being filled now are being filled by non-nationals. I know a lot of promises were made to many Grenadians out there in the diaspora who were saying that they're coming back and they're getting big jobs here and they're going to come back from the diaspora after 20, 30, 25 years out there, that they're coming back because they were promised big jobs here. Even when it comes to some of the boards and so. Remember, they had over 1,000. They said they're going to ensure that the young people get positions on the boards. How many young people on those boards that they have right now? Be it National Lotteries Authority, yeah? Be it the board that governs the airport or the Port Authority, yeah? Or the National Cultural Foundation or the Spice Mass Corporation. How many young people, people under the age of 30, are you seeing on those boards? Those boards that they said, well, you have to have a couple of young people on each of those boards and so to give a different perspective. No. Instead, they went and they find their friends. So you have to be a friend with a government minister. You have to be a friend, somebody close. Yeah, for them to place you on a particular board. You have to be a family member for them to place you on a board. You don't have to prove any sort of competency in the particular area that they're placing you on a board. You just have to be one of the friends and so. So all the young people that wrote, that took them at their word and wrote and say, well, okay, I'm writing because I want to go on that board or I want to go on this board or writing and that sort of thing. When they come and they do the training and so, you see, a set of people in their 40s and above again. And that is the kind of thing, because if you recognize nearly every single promise that has been made to the young people by this administration has been broken. Yeah? They have not given young people their seat at the table. And contrast that with what you see and saw happening under the new National Party. You saw under every one of the governments, you saw them take young people and have young people in positions. So for instance, you had young people in the parliament. So you had young people in the Senate. That everyone, since 1995 to the present time, the new National Party always makes sure, whether in government or opposition, that they have youth representing at that level. So whether it was myself when I was in my mid-30s, or whether it was Devon Rocher when he was in his 20s, yeah, or Senator Nealon Franklin, the Honorable Nealon Franklin, yeah, or former Senator Judd Cadet, the new National Party, and there are many others, I just call a few, and many others, the new National Party has always given young people a seat at the table. Watch out this bunch. How much young people have they given a seat at the table? How many have they given a seat at the table? Yeah? Yes, they had one or two young people as candidates and so. You think those young people have any influence within the bowels of the National Democratic Congress? You think that they as some of the people that are pushing any particular agenda or so on? Yeah, they are the grouping. They are the clique. Just like how it has 6 and 7 in Trinidad and well, over here too. They have their own clique within the National Democratic Congress. But they have not given a plate. They didn't even give them a seat, much less a plate, and say, well, stand up and eat. They have not given a seat at the table to young people in this country. The same young people who came out overwhelmingly and cast a ballot because they get take with the fireworks and the glitz and all of that. They were dazzled and bedazzled. So they came out in their numbers and they voted and they supported the present administration. I continue to use the example because there is no excuse for the failure of what we have calling now they call it division of youth. They're gone, not even department, they're gone down to the lowest of the low. Not a ministry of youth again. The division of youth. And that's exactly what it is. It's now the division of youth. Because that's all they're doing, they're dividing. It's in the name. So when you saw what was done under the new National Party, the creation for a full ministry of youth with a minister, then you saw afterwards that ministry with 2 ministers within it. And you had various programs at a point in time, over 20 programs under a ministry of youth. You saw young people involved in things like the Youth Parliament. You saw young people in things like the Youth Pulse. And the Youth Pulse, you go around the island and encourage young people to learn how to hang out and learn how to lime without the alcohol. And to get an opportunity to perform and cultural, get involved in culture and so on, whether it's dance or singing and different things like that. And many, many young people on a weekly basis were becoming involved in activities like Youth Pulse and looking forward to Youth Pulse and so on. You had Project Fly. You had Project Reach. You had the Imani program, and they can say what they want about the Imani. But up to this point in time, 622 days later, they have been unable to put forward anything better than the Imani program. They run them out whole election campaign on the Imani program. They're still running them out up to today. 623 days later, they are still unable to put anything in place. And don't give me this thing about it's only 622 days. Because in under 100 days, the new National Party was able to put forward a new Imani program back in 2013. Within 100 days to form it. And within 150 days to launch it. And within 200 days to have close to 2,000 to 3,000 young people under that program. And by the time you reach the 623 days, you were talking about 4,000. So don't give me this thing about we just come. And the new National Party was coming out of opposition when they did that. So out from opposition, the new National Party was able to restart a youth program. Continue to the extinction of the program that existed at that point in time, the Grenada Youth Upliftment Program. Because some lies were told on the election campaign in relation to that. The Ministry of Youth did not fire anybody from that program. They had their short-term contracts. When the contracts end, the staff that is, if they performed, some of them still working within the ministry. If not, contracts were not renewed because there was lack of performance. Some didn't even bother to try to renew contract because they know they wasn't doing anything. They just go their way. And the young people under the Youth Upliftment Program were allowed to continue to the end of their time in that program and then given the opportunity to cross from there over to the Imani program. But this government is the government of big talk and brango. Some of the young ones mightn't understand the term brango. But big talk and brango. So all you get from them is brango when it comes to these issues. Brango, that's it. We're looking forward to hear, well, okay, there's this youth program and it has engaged 500 young people in the first place. It has engaged a further 1,000 young people. It has engaged 3,000 young people or whatever. The Ministry of Youth has been a failure. Instead of increasing on the amount of young people they're reaching, they're reducing. And it's gotten totally political in that they're only looking out now for this one son and that one daughter. What major program can you... What, they had one where they were teaching them to write resumes, and a wonderful program. But that was done under the new National Party too. That's not something that's new. So we're still waiting to hear what they actually have done. What have they achieved for the young people in this country? We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear. You're live. Go right ahead.
Can you please do me a favor? You could speak, but please don't show these people's face. Because their face was the line, their face twist up. I don't want to see them tonight. You could just show the audio, not the video.
Where are darkers? Where are darkers? Where are darkers? Okay, my dear. Yes, indeed. No, I ain't too sure how much I'm going to show tonight. I have, but I ain't too sure how much I'm going to show tonight. Right, but I'm saying this. Where are the programs? What was the strategy for the development of youth? You're hearing about changing names of program. Nonsense, stupidness, and lack of thought. All they want to do is, we're going to change the name of the Imani program. How is that going to affect the young people who are within the program? And they try to give the impression that all of the young people in the program have been there from ever since the program started, which is untrue. Because you had literally hundreds on a yearly basis that were transitioning from the program into permanent employment or to study and so on. And we have a call on the line. Hello, good evening.
Sheldon, good night. How are you doing?
I'm quite fine, my dear. You go right ahead. You're live.
Right. So I'm calling concerning a healthcare clinic that is taking place at the St. George's Baptist Church.
Okay.
I listen to your program every night.
Hold on 1 minute. Just lower the volume in the background a bit, please, because it's throwing off anybody that's listening. So, right. You could go ahead now. Yeah.
Yes, so I listen to your program every night, and I know healthcare is a major, major issue.
Yes, go right
ahead. So they
ahead.
have this team of medical professionals from the U.S. There are over 70 medical professionals, and they're operating from the St. George's Baptist Church and also from the Guelph Polyclinic. And they are providing specialist care, so wound care, diabetes care, specialist care is being provided. And when the persons are being provided with the consultation, then the medication is also provided. So they they came down with millions of dollars worth of medication.
Wow.
The medication is free and it is open to the general public. It starts at 9 a.m. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Monday at the St. George's Baptist Church and also at the Guelph Polyclinic. So when you are consulted with, then you're going to get the medication. And it's free.
So, diabetics, for instance, some of the people who can't get the medication otherwise, they can go there, they can get a consultation, do their various tests and different things like that. And if they have to get medication, they'll get it to leave.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. So they have all of the medications, and in cases where they don't have, they will try to provide it for you. They will try to get it elsewhere. They also have some Cuban doctors that are coming on board as well, and they will be providing specialist care in eye care and I think women's health as well. They will have a gynecologist and eye care as well. Okay,
so they will have an OBGYN there to be able to check on women and so on.
Yes.
Now, they are doing, in some instances, they are doing visits outside of those two locations?
Yes, both. So at both locations, the team has been split into two.
Yeah.
They operate both at the St. George's Baptist Church and at the Guelph Polyclinic, and they provide the same service at both locations. So persons who need wound care, for example, there are persons who might be bedridden, they lie down on bed, they have bed sores, and they might have diabetic issues, sores or whatever. They provide specialist treatment for these people, so they can call in at the St. George's Baptist Church and give their names. What they do, they have a team of people who go out and specifically do home visits for persons who cannot get to the service. So they can go out and the doctors will assess them. They have a special machine, I think it's a vacuum a vacuum, a special vacuum that they use to assist with that with those procedures.
When you say a special vacuum, I'm trying to understand.
Right. So apparently, I'm not a medical professional.
Okay. In that case, let me leave you alone on that one.
So there's this vacuum. If you've been suffering from, you have like a sore, and it's an ongoing thing. They have this vacuum that sucks up whatever in there.
Yeah.
And there would have been people. So this is something that has been happening over 5 years now. And every year that they come, they provide this same sort of a service. So the vacuum sucks up whatever inflammation, infection, whatever is there, and then the persons would have reported within a short space of time they would have seen improvement.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, I understand. I just noticed the flyer here, and let me put the flyer up while you're speaking. Let me just pull that flyer up while you're speaking, though. Now, one of the things I recognize that they have there is pediatric care.
Yes.
So folks can bring their babies and so on. You could bring their babies and their youngsters.
And I see from the pediatric care, they also have available formulas. They have all the basic necessities that a mother would need for her children. They have them there as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a number there for if folks have to do the home visits.
Right.
I'm seeing 423-1533.
That's correct.
All right. So folks,
and
take that
also,
number.
I believe there's 440-6325.
Okay, I'm not seeing that one on the poster. So give that one again.
But there's 440-63. 440-6325.
25. So 440-6325, and alternatively 423.
So that's a landline number.
Yeah.
And the other one is a cell phone number.
Great. So it's at the Guelph Polyclinic and the St. George Baptist Church. Now, are the home visits strictly for those persons who have the who are doing wound care, or is it open to some of the areas?
Are not mobile and they cannot get to the facility for whatever reason, and they need that attention, they will visit them at home as well.
And that's whatever part of Grenada they are?
Yes, they go. There's a team that goes to St. Andrew. I think the team from Guelph will go to St. Mark and St. Patrick, and the team from St. George's will go to St. David and St. Andrew.
Okay, wonderful. And let me ask one thing here. Anytime these teams come, I tend to believe that my ancestral homeland of Carriacou and Petit Martinique are left out.
Right.
And I think it is very unfair to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, my loving cousins and aunts and uncle and them over there, to be left out when these kind of things happen. We are thankful, but we left out.
Carriacou is covered. Next year they're going to the Grenadine Islands.
That next year. So what if we have a problem now?
A few years ago they went to Carriacou. About pre-COVID, they would have visited Carriacou together with Pastor Happy. They would have gone to Carriacou.
But I'm just saying, when these things are taking place, we are very thankful. Don't think that we're not thankful. We are extremely thankful, the Grenadian people, especially in the present situation, thankful for these sort of initiatives. What we would ask, though, is that when consideration is being given, please always remember there are two pristinely beautiful, culturally filled islands called Carriacou and Petit Martinique that must be considered as locations to visit, even if it's for one day to visit. The boat does go. The boat going up every day now. Osprey running every day now. So no excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be taken into consideration next time. But next year, they're definitely going to the island.
Okay.
There would be no clinics in Grenada next year. They're going to the islands.
Okay. Well, that's absolutely wonderful, my dear. And I would like to thank you so very much for bringing this to the attention of the general public. I did see a flyer come in from someone, but in the cut and trust of doing the program, sometimes I sometimes inadvertently leave out things. Even a meeting we had last night, and I forgot to mention it during the program. So I'm thankful that you have taken the opportunity and called and ensure that people know that this is available, what is available, and where it's available. Right.
You are most welcome. And I want to encourage people out there to go out and get the services, because we have internationally certified doctors. These doctors are internationally recognized. So go
Okay.
out and get the services, and you'll get the medication as well.
All right.
So thank you
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank
Have a
you so
wonderful
very
night.
much. All right, bye there.
All right, thank you.
Yes, indeed, folks. So make sure you go on out. Remember, if you have someone that is bedridden, in other words, they cannot leave where they are, to go to visit either the Guelph Polyclinic, because if you're in St. Patrick or St. Mark or so, you may want to go to the Guelph Polyclinic to take part and see the doctors and so on there. And if you're in St. George's, you may want to go to the St. George Baptist Church. Even if you're in St. David, you may want to come down to the St. George Baptist Church. Those of you in St. Andrew, you could either go around that way or you might come down. But with that said, those of you that have individuals that may be at home, because, you know, especially for the bedridden ones, if the care is not taking place proper, and sometimes even with the best care, I know from personal experience, they still would end up with the bed sores and different things like that have to be carefully taken. I clean and take care of enough bed sores in my life to know. Yeah, they're difficult to deal with. You have to be very careful, and you have to know what you're doing and so on. So if you have individuals that may be bedridden, they cannot leave the bed, and they need that sort of care, or they need an assessment or so on done, I would suggest that you call. Again, the phone number here is 423-1533 and 440-6325. That's 440-6325 or 423-1533. We'll try to remind you again before the end of the program. And let me congratulate those involved in this wonderful initiative. Anything that is of benefit to the Grenadian people, you will always find us supporting it. Yeah? So let me congratulate those who are directly involved in ensuring that this happens. Right? 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And I got a message out of Carriacou, tell them pay the Imani the increase. Okay, all right. I'll try to ensure that they know that message. Yeah, and that they pay the Imani their increase. Yeah. And let me see, there are two others here before I get in trouble. Let me just pull up another one here. No, not you. Not you are trying to pull up. The other one that I try. Right. You is who are trying to pull up here. Before I get in trouble. Thanks for that caller. Let you remind me I have a set here. There's a medical motorcade that's going to be taking place this Saturday. That's Saturday, March the 9th. It starts at 7:30 a.m. sharp. And the motorcade route is from, let me see, Sugar Mill Roundabout, St. David, St. Andrew, St. Patrick, St. Mark, St. John. Now, I'm seeing the arrow from St. John to Sugar Mill Roundabout. So I'm not sure if it's starting in St. John and going to Sugar Mill Roundabout, which is what I would think if I see the arrow going like that. So Sugar Mill Roundabout, St. David, St. Andrew, St. Patrick, St. Mark. And it is in aid of a student, Orlando Thomas, a Form 5 student of the Grenada Boys Secondary School. He has been diagnosed with, if I think I could pronounce that word, there's the next one, mandibular retrognatism, and also has to do jaw surgery. He's in need of urgent medical attention. So mandibular retrognatism, nathism, yeah. Retrognathism, right. So mandibular retrognathism. And he also has to do a surgery on his jaw, and it's urgent. Yeah, so it's a young chap. He's a Form 5 student of the Grenada Boys Secondary School. So they're having that island-wide motorcade on his behalf. If you want to donate, right, and folks, it's so right. So I'm seeing here a message. It's from St. John back to Sugar Mill. So let me just make sure. Right, it's from St. John back to Sugar Mill. Right, good. So that is taking place from St. John. So they're coming down from St. John, going across from St. John to St. Mark, to St. Patrick, to St. Andrew, St. David, and coming down to the Sugar Mill roundabout. Yeah? And for some reason, that route, okay, all right. You all know why you're doing it that way. But St. John, St. Mark, St. Patrick, St. Andrew, St. David, and the Sugar Mill roundabout. Let me also suggest to the folks involved in that, Intercall is coming up. Yeah, if every child in Intercall give $1 at some point when they enter in or whatever, if every child that goes to Intercall over the days of Intercall give $1, parents, give your child $1. And let me ask the people with this particular initiative to at least have some bins or something there, so that at least if every child gives $1, it's going to help this child go a really far way. Every child, and the elders who pass in, you could give a 5, a 2, a 3, whatever it is, drop it into the box. So let me ask the organizers of Intercall, try and help. Yeah, please try and help. So for this, they have the medical motorcade, they have the motorcade, and so that's going to be going around. But also, if you all can set up something at the Intercall games, you have all of the secondary schools, all of the children are going to be coming down, their parents, and just the old boys and the old girls at the different schools and so on. So if you can have some points there at entry that they could donate $1 or so on towards it, even if it's just $1, every student there, you're talking what? You're talking at least 6,000, 8,000, yeah? And plus, if some others, the elders that passing, you see that you donate there, please try and help. All right, try and help. 440-7377, that's 440-7377, and there's one more, let me see if I can find that one. Let me see, there's, wow boy, what, well, I'm going to open my mouth now, all them flyers and them start to come in one after the all the flyers ending right, so it's ending at Sugar Mill, ending back at, it's starting and ending back at Sugar Mill. No, it's ending at Sugar Mill, right? So there is another one here. Let me just pull that one up here. That's the free eye clinic. That's going to be taking place Monday, March the 25th to the 28th at the Youth Center in Monroe, St. George. They're going to be giving free eye care medications as needed, free reading, and sunglasses as needed. All right, so that's sponsored by Roy Vincent in partnership with the could be America. No, I can't make out that part there. Of Jamaica and American Humanitarian, and I can't make out that part there. This design kind of threw me off. Right? And the top part, Grenada Medical Mission, I think it's kind of certain parts of it are throwing me off. But it's at bottom line, free eye clinic. It's taking place Monday, March the 25th to the 28th at the Grenada Youth Center in Monroe, St. George. So they're going to be having free eye exams taking place there, and you could get reading glasses, sunglasses, that sort of thing there as well. And there is one more that was just sent in to me. Let me make sure I pull that one here. Right, so that's the NNP St. Andrew Southeast NNP Youth and present a beach lime at Hope Beach. That's going to be taking place at Saturday the 16th of March. It starts from 10 a.m. until. So they're going to be having free there, waters and oil dung. They have barbecue on sale and a well-stocked bar. So the bar, you have to buy at the bar. Buying free, right? The waters and the oil dung you could get free, but the barbecue is on sale. And the well-stocked bar, you have to support the well-stocked bar. They have music bar, popular DJs. So that's the Beach Lime by the New National Party Youth Am, St. Andrew Southeast branch. And they are having that on the 16th of March. All right, 16th of March. So make sure that you can head on out there and be part of that activity. All right, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program, folks. Also remember the NNP Fun Day, 31st of March 2024. That's going to be the NNP cocktail they're having, and and come on, you kind of throw me off there, brother. You have to spell it out a little bit more for me. Right, so they have the NNP Fun Day on the 31st of March. We're going to give you more information in relation to those activities. They're a bit off still, so when we get the information in relation to those, we're going to give you. 440-7377. That's 440-7377.
To allow the yellow vibes to flow.
So again, I spoke about the young people, and I continue to ask, when you compare the two, you realize that there's really no comparison, because this administration has failed spectacularly when it comes to youth development. Let me explain to you all something. Grenada, when it comes to youth development, when it comes to youth programs, when it comes to the Ministry of Youth, every country in Carriacou and even further afield, they always look to Grenada as the leader Right now, Grenada is nowhere in the entire thing. You had, when it came to the Commonwealth Youth Program, Grenadians held the highest positions there, the chair and the deputy. When it came to other Carriacou youth organizations, etc., Grenada was always at the forefront. You always had other islands coming to Grenada to see how Grenada was doing what it was doing in its youth programs. Be it the Grenada Youth Enterprise Initiative that they had, or Grenada Small Business Program for the young people, or be it a program like Imani. How are you doing this? How can we replicate what you are doing in our own country? Yeah? Or whether it's the programs to engage the young folks who have fallen on the wrong side of the law, like the Badness Outer Style and those sort of programs. Other countries look to Grenada. Trinidad have replicated some of the programs that we have here, had here in Grenada. And be it St. Lucia coming down to find out, well, how will you do that? You understand? They want your documentation in relation to it because they want to replicate. Whether it's Montserrat, whether it's Turks and Caicos, whether it's Jamaica, they always look at Grenada as a leader when it comes to youth development. And try to work along with Grenada and try to find out from Grenada how you're doing it. But that's not the case now. Now is a case where it looks like Grenada to find out from them how to do things, because nothing is taking place. Nothing. When it comes to our young people, what is there for the young people who will be exiting the schools, who have exited the school system in 2022, 2023, and who will be exiting in 2024 and 2025, 2026 and beyond? What is there through the Ministry of Youth to engage these young people? Instead of that, they're pulling scholarships from young people. And that's a factor. It's only that the young people tell me, please don't call the name, because they're already spiting them for some reason. That these young people, they did, and don't give me that they didn't go through the process. These are young people that had scholarships from the government of Grenada under the last administration. That all of a sudden, when they're thinking that money is being paid to the university and so, nothing so. And all sorts of excuses being thrown at them, instead of trying to work with these young people to ensure that they can complete their course of study. And there are some stories within there that I'm just waiting for them to graduate, to be able to bring one or two of them onto the program, for them to give their story of where they were and where they arrived. But they are being spited for some reason. So while other people could leave the ministry and say, don't worry about me, man, I will taken care of, and people could be posting and talking about, well, what if they're getting the 14,000 or how much from another source? You could have people posting and saying those kind of things. Young people who are trying to improve themselves, who should be used actually as models for other young people to tell them, well, look, this young person was there. They had no subjects. They didn't even finish secondary school. But yet, look at them about to finish a degree at university now. Instead of that, you have this nonsense about, oh, we can't pay your university tuition and so on now. Nonsense. We have a caller online. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You go right ahead. You're live.
Oh, Sheldon?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling to find out if they find the lost child as yet. I see two black cars running down the road. I don't know if you're running to find him. Can you tell me if they find that lost child?
We are still waiting, my dear.
Pardon me?
We are still waiting. 18 days.
Waiting?
18 days.
They found him and then put up the lost and found report.
Well, no, I think they might have to reissue that missing report, you know, because up to now they can't find him.
Because I see some black man running down today, so I thought they was running behind. Okay.
They may have heard of his location and going to try and see if it's he that day for real.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And again, yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah? 18 days have passed since the events that led to the death of the two American citizens. And I think we have to accept by now that these two people have died. Yeah? These two people, we just have to accept it at this point that these two people have died. Various aspects of what took place between Grenada and St. Vincent have now been aired. I'm hearing different things. It's not up to me. I ain't coming and talk that here. But are starting to come out and so on in relation to what took place, right? So you're hearing those things. Up to now, our Minister of National Security has gone missing. So the person who in charge of the people that has go and find people when they're missing, he missing. And we are again calling on the Prime Minister to fire the Minister of National Security. Mr. Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security has no idea what is taking place or how to address it. The Minister of National Security is inept. The Minister of National Security is out of touch with reality. The Minister of National Security should not even be put to guard a latrine somewhere when it comes to security. They don't know what they have to do. As such, Mr. Prime Minister, we are calling on you to please fire the Minister of National Security. Good night, Zayla, Zoe, Neela, Namara. Go and sleep now. Yes, Zayla, Zoe, Neela, and Namara. Bedtime. Nice? Good. Right. Yeah, Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, you must see that your Minister of National Security doesn't understand anything about national, neither security. They don't understand about security, national security. They don't understand anything about that. So you need to fire the minister and find someone competent to hold the position. And if you cannot fire a Minister of National Security, Mr. Prime Minister, then you need to fire yourself. Yeah, as Prime Minister. Because what is taking place here, Grenadians need to hear from the Minister of National Security. When there's an upsurge in crime next door in Trinidad, as much crime as they have, then Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines, he comes out, he come out and talk in a press conference, He goes on to various television programs, radio programs, podcasts, and so on. And he speaks about the situation and he gives ideas, although most of the time nonsense. Anyway, but he gives ideas of what they are going to do in relation to that. We have a caller.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Okay. I heard Mr. Braffett, not Mr. Braffett, Mr. Clouden was on night before. He was saying about that the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mackenzie, should resign. And he stated what he had to say. But I want to say, Mr. Clouden should be asking the Prime Minister of National Security to resign. He is the first one he has to resign, not Mr. Mackenzie. And then Mr. Mackenzie could follow after. But the main person is the Prime Minister because he is the Minister of National Security. Thank you.
All right, my dear. According to a post I saw by an individual who I have a lot of respect for today, they said, well, that Mr. Thompson don't know what to do. I'm just paraphrasing here. Mr. Thompson don't know what to do. So better you get Mr. Clarkson to do the work. Because Thompson don't know. So better you get Clarkson to advise. Yeah? And maybe that's the direction they have to go. Instead of Thompson, maybe they need to go and find Clarkson. Yeah? 4407377. That's the number for you to get on the inside one message here. Fire the advisor, Mr. Thompson, as well. Yeah, Mr. Thompson. Yeah, maybe they need to fire Mr. Thompson. But right now they say Thompson don't know what to do. So better you go and find Clarkson to advise. Yeah? And maybe that is exactly what they had to do. Maybe that is exactly what they have to do. Because folks, right now, 17 days in this case, that this individual is still missing. Mr. Levon Date. Mr. Levon Date is still missing. Yeah? I think we have a caller online. Good night, caller. Hello.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
You have to fire Mr. Nonsense. Mr. Nonsense, you have to fire. Because you don't know nothing. The money's sweet, so they like to be there. The money's sweet.
Well, I know they say Thompson don't know what to do, so call Clarkson. Clarkson might know what to do, so you have to get rid of Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's
So,
see.
you have to get rid of the Prime Minister because you're doing nonsense. Bye-bye. Good night. Love you.
Love you too, my dear. All right, folks. So, folks, yeah, just remember, this individual is still on the loose. It should be 18 days now or 17 days now. Yeah, they are still on the loose. They are wanted not just for escaping police, but they are facing a capital murder charge. This individual is to be considered armed and dangerous. They're a little over 6 feet tall. They should be considered armed and dangerous. All right? So if you see this individual anywhere in your community, you see them passing through, shortcut in the bush, going down behind the cocoa, or you see them going around by the neighbor pig pen, or wherever you see them. Yeah, wherever you see them, please contact immediately the members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. They are still on a charge of capital murder. That has not been extinguished. They haven't gone to court and been proven innocent, so they ought not to be outside right now. All right, they have escaped lawful custody and they are on the run. So if you see them, I'm hearing different sightings and so on. You hear, you see them there. You hear, you seeing them. I mean, come on. So we have to ensure that if you see them, please contact the Royal Grenada Police Force to let them know that the individual is in you. Don't let the individual see when you're calling and thing, Yeah, try and make a little hide and thing and call. Don't let the individual see when you're calling. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon. How are you?
Nursey, how are you doing? I am good.
I'm fine, thank you.
And I'm
good night
good.
to all the listeners.
Yes, go right ahead. You're live.
Yes. So, Sheldon, today I got 2 calls, both on Messenger from people from Grenada asking for help. And this is what's going on. So, I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard several clips saying that we know how to pay salaries and we have money to pay salaries. Am I wrong or did I make that up?
No, they say there's no problem with money to pay salaries. They have money.
Okay.
And they say they know to run country and to find money.
Sheldon, yes. So I was getting ready. Exactly. So I was getting ready for work and I actually started running late because I got caught up in this one story that I heard. That's, to me, is very, depressing. So 2 people called. The one that I'm going to talk about most is, they both have similar issues, but the one I'm going to talk about most is somebody had a little part-time job for before the Christmas. They was holding on. Any case, the person no longer has the job. But guess what? Today is March. We're in March. The month is March 2024. This was December 2023. Up to now, that person has not get paid. Currently, they do not have a job. They have a mortgage to pay, they have a family to feed, and they have small children. And the thing that bothers me is every time he calls, he's getting the runaround. Several times they told him, the money is here, come pick it up, pay the bus with the last dollar, go to the place, there's no money, and then he has to find money for transportation to go back home. Sometimes even have to walk back home because he's expecting the money to get bus fare to go back home. Why are these people so wicked, Sheldon? And then the listeners are worse. I want you to listen to me properly, those that are listening there, because you are wicked just like them. If you're going to sit there and condone such behavior and talking about when we say things and talking points, it's a lie. You all are sick people.
And you're speaking about their listeners, they're not our listeners.
Not our listeners. I'm speaking about their listeners because I see quite a few of them. I see them. I know exactly who they are. I don't say anything, but they come into Marco. You all want to Marco? Go Marco and tell the people who doing those things to stop it. If you all have any good things in you all.
So this is a situation where the individual is owed. They are being told, come down, we have the money ready for you. And when the
Calm
person reaches down there,
yeah. Even
it's
other
not there.
family members try to, yeah, Sheldon, even family members try to intervene. And what they're saying is true. You know why I know it's true? Because I attempted to reach those people and them several times. Sheldon, a voicemail is not set up. You cannot leave a message. And when you call, you're going around in circles. You call, hold on for a few minutes, then they transfer it to another person. The person pick up, hello, how may I help you? Say something. Okay, hold on. They transfer you and you're going around in circles.
No,
and there are times when you call, you don't get nobody, no answering service, nothing. Now this individual was told several times, oh, it's ready, come get it. When he goes down there, they make it like my grandmother used to say, they're making papi show to the guy.
No. That's not good enough because again,
and he
they
has
have
a
said
mortgage. He doesn't even have a job right now because it was something temporary. Okay, so now he needs the money. Christmas time come, he couldn't have spent a good Christmas with his family. Okay, then you had New Year's, still the same thing. Independence, while everybody jumping up and going to the show, he probably didn't even have food on his table. Now Easter coming. All these holidays where you need money, where you need things. You need to support your family. Your mortgage has to pay. You think you could tell? He's not like Belly and Guts that could just go to the bank and say, let me get a loan, and I get a loan and he take care. No. So why are they treating people like that?
no, that's definitely not good
And
enough.
then the thing that bothers me, the supporters, was because they're sitting there and talking about people lie. Now tell me a lie about this one. I want when I say something, you come and tell me a lie. And don't even bother coming in my inbox and asking me any question because I won't cuss all you. Okay? Don't do it.
Just behave. Don't curse this. Don't curse.
Sheldon,
Don't curse. Don't
just
curse.
tell him I offer the next 3 days, so come. I will cuss their ass.
Oh God.
Sorry to cuss on your program,
Behave.
but some of them get me so some of them just get me so angry when they come with their stupidness. You know?
But what I would say is this though. I've heard of many. This is you speaking about one or two. I've heard many people meet me every time and tell me what's going on. You are the people that do the patching on the road and so. They just got the money from, I think it's either November or December. They just got that money the other day and they didn't get the January and so on. So it is something that's happening throughout. And they keep blaming the people working in the system and they're not acknowledging their own folly in how they have put extra strain on the finance departments in various ministries. So they out there boasting now that, hey, it have money. So they have money, we could pay all your money, is not the problem. And they're putting the blame on the staff within the ministry, like they want one of these people now to meet one of the staff members in tongue and slap them. That's what they want. To me, that is what they're doing. They're setting up the finance officers in various ministries so that somebody go meet them and want to box them in tongue or slap them in tongue for their money. And it is not them to blame.
Sheldon, this is not right at all what's going on. It's not right. And you have people bragging, oh, pension was paid. This was done. Boots on the ground. Boots don't sink down in the soil already. And you can't even find it. It disappear. So stop the nonsense about boots on the ground. Okay?
Well, any other taken pension would have paid because there was a court judgment in relation to it. So that was no achievement of the NDC. They did not find the money and put the money together to be able to pay pension. Nor did they have any other choice but to pay the pension the same as the New National Party. If the New National Party had paid the pension before the election, you would have heard all of them jump up, oh, they're trying to bribe us, they're trying to bribe us. That's what you'd hear.
Yeah.
And you would not complete in the process to roll out the payments anyway by that time. So this thing about they pay pension as an achievement is, only stupid people go believe that is an achievement of the NDC.
I want to know the same people that has been going around and saying these things, if they work, especially those behind the scenes in New York City, if they work and they didn't get paid, how would they like it? Just put yourself in other people's shoes before you sit there and go on with nonsense. That don't make sense. You put yourself that you don't have money to pay your rent or you don't have money to pay your mortgage. and you don't have money to send your children to school, and you don't even have money to pay the bus, how would you feel? Y'all must sit there and think about those things before y'all go talking a set of nonsense that don't make no sense.
All right, nurse. Message delivered. I'm going to make sure that we try and follow up with what is taking place in the ministry, because as I said, it's not just those people that have spoken to you. I've spoken to quite a few that are having a similar problem. On this program, we've pointed out what the problem is. You cannot give a department double the amount of work that they had to do in the same time frame and expect them to operate at optimal level. You either have to get new software that's faster, additional staff, whatever you have to do to try. You might have to double your staff, whatever it is that you have to do, but you have to get that done to be able to get things at least back to the level that they were before or improved. Yeah, but you can't double the amount of workload the people have and expect them to. I feel sorry for the finance officers, honestly.
They're not checking. They don't care, Sheldon. I come to the conclusion a very long time ago. They don't care. It's all about themselves. And I don't know why when people going to wake up, smell the coffee and see what's going on. Okay?
Of course. Yes, indeed. All right, my dear. Thank you for your call. You enjoy the rest of your night. All right, my dear.
Good night. Bye.
All right. Yes, indeed, folks. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. You can call us on the WhatsApp. You can call us on the overseas line, 347-329-3101. Or you can give us, yes, you can give us a direct call on 440-7377. All right. Let me just play something quick for you all here. Nice. Yeah, I want to play something quick for you all day, man. Yeah.
There's no room for politics when it comes to national security. National security involves all of us. There's no color involved in national security. There's no yellow, there's no green. It involves all of us playing a part to ensure that Grenada remains beautiful and safe. You see something, say something.
Yes, folks. So if you see something, say something. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. You know, sometimes it's really disturbing. Do you had a chance to listen to Simon said today?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to raise the point on the clip that she played with Callister and then Ken Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And the response of Ken Jones about the Prime Minister don't have to get an interview. Who is she? This is the same people that put the Prime Minister there. So why no? She can't get an interview with the Prime Minister. Is the Prime Minister bigger than everybody? I mean, he have a post. We have to respect that. But he's not bigger than everybody that they cannot interview him. You know, it's very disturbing to hear Ken Jones of all person come down on Callister, which Callister is one of the best reporter in Grenada. And she was all for the Prime Minister, for Deacon. And now today he's saying that who is she to get an interview with the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister have the people to interview him? I just can't understand what is going on in Grenada. Why the Prime Minister is feeling that he's bigger than everybody, that he don't need to speak to people in Grenada?
Well, that seems to be the case, my dear, because remember, we are speaking now of 18 days. 18 days that the Prime Minister has said absolutely nothing to the people of Grenada in relation to the events. You had shooting in Grenada and shooting in town. You had 3 Grenadians killed, 2 tourists. You have all these things taking place. And up to now, the Prime Minister nor his advisor nor his national security minister have said a word. All 3 need to be fired.
Yes, I think so too. I think the Prime Minister should say, go and say, Madam, you know, I thought I could have do it, but I cannot do it. It's time I give up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel he should do that.
Yes, of course.
Have a good night.
Thank you so very much, caller. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to get on the inside. And folks, tomorrow morning, they're going to have a press conference, and listen to them try and twist the story around school feeding. Just remember, I tell you that the Ministry of Education is going to have a press conference tomorrow morning. Hear them try to twist everything about TAMCC. Hear them try to twist everything when they asked about the school feeding program, if they allow the questions. Because these days, when they have a press conference, they're telling you we're speaking on 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are alone. So you can't ask us a question about anything else. So those are the 3 or the 4 that we're speaking about. We're not speaking on anything else. Yeah? So they're deciding, when they face the media, they're deciding what the media can ask them about. Yeah? So let me tell the media this. You will have a government minister before you tomorrow. Find out from said government minister who sits in the cabinet of Grenada. Find out from them what is cabinet's position in relation to what is taking place. And also, since you have the minister is going to be in front of you, ask Mr. Minister about what is taking place in several schools and what is being done by the Ministry of Education, who they're working with, which other ministries, departments, or divisions they are working with or not working with, in order to address the issues that are taking place in several of our secondary schools around the island. There are issues with our young people with substance abuse. There are individuals out there, and I ain't just saying it, I tell the police what I know. There are individuals out there who are providing students with illicit substances to go into different schools and sell. What is the ministry doing? The Royal Grenada Police Force could only do so much. What is the ministry doing? What program has been put in place to address these sort of issues? You're finding knife and cutlass, hatchet, ice pick, all kind of thing on student screwdriver, sharpened to a point, all things. You're finding in some schools. Yeah? On a near daily basis, this is what teachers facing. So teachers leave home and they're not sure if they're going to be able to reach back home, because students going to school armed. Yeah? So if they want to duck that question, they better resign in front of the cameras one time. You have teachers, so imagine your husband or your wife gone to teach, and you ain't sure if they're coming back because of what's going on in some of those schools. And let me say this, let me congratulate the teachers for the excellent job that they have been doing. Let me congratulate them, at least for the schools that I have interacted with. I know that the teachers, you could see that they truly, really care about the students, and not just, we want to have a student that give us 15 subjects at CXC, and no, that they are taking the time and speak to students. So let me congratulate the teachers for the excellent job. The only union leader is another case, but I'll congratulate you all on the excellent job that you all have been doing and continue to do. All right? Yeah, and I needed to say that. Yeah? We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon Scott, good night.
Kiame, how is it?
And good night, Australian people. Good night to everybody who's listening. Channel Patty, good night, and Matthew. Darlington Sheila, Scott. And good night to Auntie Allard. She's a very good teacher in GVSS. Auntie Allard, congratulations to her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So
and good night to the NNT crew in Brooklyn, in Concarau Bay, in Grenada. They're listening now, they're by the shop.
Oh, my two
I want to say good night to you all guys.
My people them?
Yes, guys up in Concarau Bay. Because we listening, right?
Yes, yes.
That is Sheldon Scott. I don't want to tell you how to run your program. But if Deacon don't want to, Deacon Mitchell don't want to come and make a statement, don't beg him again.
I'm
to
not
try
begging.
and beg him.
No, I've begged nobody. I've never begged Deacon Mitchell for a single thing on this
You don't
program.
want to speak to the American people. You don't want to speak to the Grenadian people. Leave him. I don't understand that man. So why you leave that man? One good day you go want to speak to the Grenadian people and it go be too late. And I always have to say it, and I always don't like when I say that it's good for some of them. It's good for some of them. It's good for some of them. I heard him now say this person don't get the money since from last year. Since last year. We have to be very careful with some Grenadians, eh? Because some of them get in the money and they say they don't get in. They're using talking points when they want to make mischief. Be very careful, because a lady tell me how much months, and then she tell she friend how she get the money. So some of them lie, some of them not speaking the truth. It's like a blighted Grenada, people lying. Some people in this country, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. A man have a money for me. He get paid and he hiding. He hiding from me. But today I block him. I block him and he get him money. And I have some friends that walking in the road. They get one fortnight. And they don't get the rest of the money yet. But I don't trust some of them people, Sheldon. I might be wrong. But I don't trust them because they're not honest with themselves. Because if I work with Deacon Mitchell and I don't get me money, I go in and make nice for me money, I go straight to him. I'm going up where offices to get me money. Or I'm going in the ministry. I'm going in the Ministry of Finance in a Kong department and get me money from them people. So I don't understand. When Kit Mitchell was there, everybody marching in canteen. He saw one man with a placard on Melby Street. They saw one man protesting. But I don't know how. No. Are you working with the government of Grenada? Are you getting your money? And are you saying nothing at all? Are you telling people to call talking point to say what happened to that? Why you all don't come out, speak to the media, speak to MTV, speak to GBN, you speak it to Sheldon. My name is Camille Kiwija Scott. I work with the Ministry of Finance and I don't get me money. So some are you lying? I don't believe all you. Because if you have to take your work and they don't pay you, why you are too afraid to say you don't get paid? Something is not right. Something is not right.
Okay. All right,
The government, and the government tell all you, NNP, NDC, have a track record. I went all the meetings in campaign time. All the ministers and them beg all you. They beg. They beg all you. They tell all you all things. Last night when I see Sheldon playing all them clips and all them young people and them, most of them they in town just walking. Let me tell you something. Prostitution and the rising Grenada, eh? Prostitution. People thieving, people begging. I ain't telling you they say. Here's some woman that sit down by me. When their boyfriend call them, where they? Are they in Grenville? But they are in the terminal sit down. They see on Friday. Prostitution in this country. People begging. This is the thing I see in my eye. People coming and begging for money to pay the boss. They're telling you, thing no nice, thing rough. He rock with me. But at least I still have a pumpkin I will cut it tomorrow, please, lad. And I still have a case of water. Somebody buying a case of water. I buy half case of coke, you know. And he has some NSP supporters will pass and support me, and then they give me a $5, say, Miss Cammy, buy a drink, because we won. It's rough with everybody in Grenada. So if I work, pay me, go to the ministry, go in the department, in the Ministry of Finance, and account, the account department, and go there and see the people, let them know you work 2-3 fortnights and you don't get your money because Mr. Conwell say you are not doing all your work. So I don't know who all you want to speak out for all your money. So somehow you're lying.
Right. Okay, Cammy.
Not right.
All right, Cammy. Thank you.
Good
All right,
night.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. I'll say this, I have checked out several of the cases myself, and it was seriously cases where people's money was stuck within the system and they were not getting their money. I've checked it out myself in several instances where people have said, have spoken on that. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello? Okay. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Sheldon Scott.
Yes, sir.
Good night, good night. When last you passed through Permota area, right?
I've not passed through Pedmota for a couple months, well, yeah.
Huh?
I've not passed through for a couple months, but go right ahead.
Why Permota road needs some fixing by. If you see your hands find here. Oh boy, more you swim from one hole, you fall back here on the next hole. All in Permota my mom moving garage down there. Yeah man, the road is very bad. The road is very bad. The Prime Minister pass over every day. Every Thursday he'll be on it.
Oh, you don't see him?
Yeah, I will see him. I will see the van pack up there.
18 days now.
Business.
18 days now we're waiting to hear from him. So if you see him, tell him we're waiting to hear from him.
But he in Grenada now. He come back in Grenada. This today I saw him in Permota Junction. And he passing over every day. He see the country on the road. He swim from one road, he fall back on the next road. You know a man say if he was driving the private vehicle, each one you see, he throw along the van in the road. And you feel the pressure. Come on. Private is passing every day, every day, you could know what control the road is. We beg for the road to fix. Even the minister works listening. We need Permota road to fix before Antoine here and before Naira by the garage, moving garage, and y'all this piece by the St. Thomas school down there. The school is road nice. One to the mistake they make them put their people backward there. Oh boy. Those 2 weeks can pass there. If you 2 weeks pass your edge and your road break. So we call on the minister works. Send them school course for a weekend for 2 weeks again. To do something before school back up now. Oh God, we call on them to do something. That's the job piece of road.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
No problem. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. And listen, now, what's really going on with Tully and these prisoners up in St. Andrew? Today, another prisoner, they escape, but they get caught. Yeah? What kind of thing is that? Oh, prisoners escaping and thing up on that end. So, oops, we lost that call. Prisoners escaping up on that side. So, what is taking place up there? Yeah? What is taking place up there that prisoners keep escaping from up there? Come on, all you have to do better. Listen, a person who is charged with capital murder escape, So from that, all is supposed to be, I mean, come on. Whether it's all is supposed to have the RRU or the SSU up there as the rules say or whatever it is, do what you have to do. Yeah? If you're not sending enough police officers or you're not sending the correct team to be able to deal with the prisoners, this is the kind of thing that will happen. Yeah? If you are not providing, that's one of the things I always say. I learned that working along with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and with the Honorable Emlyn Pear. Anytime something happens, you check yourself. What did I not do that I was supposed to do? So prisoners keep getting away. What is the problem? Is it that you need to train a special unit to be able to deal with the prisoners? Is it that you're supposed to provide them with special equipment that you have not provided them with? Is it that you probably need to start now doing stuff virtually instead of having to take a man from Richmond Hill Prison and drive him all the way up to St. Andrew? But at least take some time to look at different aspects to see what you can do. We have a caller online. Good evening.
Hey, Brother Sheldon, good night.
Good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Brother Sheldon, when you listen to them clips in the election campaign. Hello?
Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon. When you listen to them clips in the election campaign, what? Yeah, when you listen to the clips under NDC, what you hear NDC was saying to the poor people of the country, the contract workers, with the NDC, they go fight for you all. We go fight for you all. And when
Caller,
we
hold on, caller. The reason you're tying yourself up now is because you had the volume too high in the background. And your brain is kind of going back to it and coming back to what you're saying.
Okay,
and it should just step away. I'll wait. You don't have to hang up. Just lower the volume in the back. You don't have to hang up. Just lower the volume a little bit in the background. And then come back to the mic. Yeah, that's what's throwing you off.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead now.
They were saying that in the campaign, we go fight for the poor people on contract. Because it's illegal that the present government at the time, they have you on contract. They was not care about you. So we're going to fight for you to make sure every one of you are going to get permanent job. But when I look right now, instead of the government fighting for the people to get permanent, they give them a contract. So they're fighting against the people. They're fighting against them to make sure that they don't get a permanent to keep them on contract. But this government go going history as the most lying government. Most lying government. And we have a prisoner on the run. And we have a minister, a MIA minister, you call a missing action minister. The Grenada people are looking for him. We need to send a SOS to ask the Grenada people. So look out for the prime minister. They want to know where the prime minister there. Because he's supposed to report to the people of Carriacou on the situation of the gun crime and the violence that are taking place in the country. All right, Brother Shah.
All right, thank you. 440 Salian, good night to you. 440-7377, that's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, and folks, I'm hearing some stories, I'm hearing a lot of stories about the breaking down that taking place around the island of various people, places, and so on. I find the people who place the break-in very quiet. When it comes to the one in St. Mark, from what I've heard, it is in relation to a court case that took place. That's what I've heard in relation to that particular one. It does not absolve the administration, though, of trying to find a mechanism of addressing the issue of the people who are now left without a place to operate from. It does not absolve the present, because they could have spoken to the owners. They could have decided, well, listen, we'll speak to the owners, we'll see what we can get done, if we can get you to hold off for 3 months or 4 months or whatever. But instead of that, I see the ex-minister, the failed minister, you two they fired the other day. I see they posting, I am following, and I'm showing you the post here that they posted online. I am following the demolition situation in St. Mark and learned after investigation that it was a private dispute ordered by the court and has nothing to do with the planned demolition ongoing in St. George and St. David. Additionally, I support the clearing of unauthorized vending along the roadsides, and I encourage vendors to apply first to vend rather than build and then seek help. This from an individual that went and take over Purcell Place in Mount Gay. They didn't know about apply first and get permission and all that sort of thing. This from an individual who illegally took people's place and decided building a bus shed there. Well, where the bus shed right now? Why you can't build the bus shed? Why the bus shed can't finish? Honorable Ron Redhead, why you can't finish? There is an application process. They go further to say there is an application process at the PDA that you can follow by simply calling. Everything does not have to be a fight. You didn't know that before you go and take personal property to go and put bus shed. The bigger concern for vendors in St. George is the situation with Jamrock and the vendors market, which should be addressed. The Planning and Development Authority is now a statutory body and is no longer a department under the Ministry of Works. Folks, the Planning and Development Authority is part of government. So whether they are statutory body, a statutory body is vested in a particular ministry. So while they may not be a department of the Ministry of Works, they are still answerable to the Ministry of Works. And in this case, the Prime Minister is the Minister of Works. So when you hear they complaining about the state of the road up there in St. David, and they're saying the state of the road and the Minister of Works need to do something, they just need to check their MP in St. David, because he is the Minister of Works. So this attempt at obfuscation, this attempt at trying to shade the issue that the Planning and Development Authority is now a statutory, but it's still part of government. The National Lottery Authority is part of government. It is directed under the Ministry of Sports. So you can't say that the National Lottery Authority is not part of government. They are part of government. Whether you're speaking about the National Lottery Authority or the Postal Corporation or the Port Authority or the National Stadium Authority, all of them are still part of government. Massa bull, massa cow, as old people used to say. So to try to give the impression that the PDA, and those of you in the PDA, I hope all you recognize that all you're going to be the scapegoat when the time comes. They're using all you to do their dirty work, and when the time comes, all you're going to be the scapegoat. You see that last line in this thing? It is indicating a particular line of thinking that permeates the minds of those individuals who are in or was recently in cabinet. So the Planning and Development Authority is now a statutory body and is no longer a department under the Ministry of Works. So the individual who didn't know not to go and take Mr. Purcell and them property, he didn't know then that everything don't have to be a fight. He didn't know then. Did he get permission from the Planning and Development Authority to put up that bus stop there in the first place? I could bet you no. Any amount of money. Take me to court. I could bet him no. He did not, before they start the construction there, get permission for that facility to be built there. Did he go through the proper procedure according to the Constitution of Grenada and the Land Acquisition Act to acquire the land legally, in which case you would have to pay the owners of the land for the land that you're taking? That's what the Land Acquisition Act says, right? You have to pay them, and you have to pay them promptly for the land that you're going to use for this kind of thing. Anybody see if the bus stop finished? The bus stop finished now? Is the bus stop finished now? So they didn't know before that you had to apply and everything, though had to be a fight and all. You didn't know that. You learned that now. You learn that now. After you just tried to take the people, and now you learn that. Yeah, now we learn that, isn't it? Folks, everything don't have to be a fight. Yeah? Everything didn't have to be a fight. Then why are you all in court right now? If everything didn't have to be a fight, why are you in court right now? And you personally. Yeah? Why are you all within the halls of the court system in relation to that particular matter? Yeah? The people put up their fence, they put up their plan, they show all it, this is our property. All if they're big, you're bad, and you're going to blow the house down. You remember for last year, big, they're bad, and the whole thing. They go ahead and they continue constructing on the facility. Break down fence, all kind of thing, and go back building. So the bus shed was supposed to have been finished in January. Well, we're in March now. So I know, maybe January is March with them. You never know. Because you know with this particular organization, all kind of thing does happen. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, that's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, and sometimes you just have to give people a look reminder. Some people doesn't like it, some people doesn't like it, but just have to get a reminder.
Themselves. It is criminal to have a woman with children in those conditions, and you have the current housing scheme provided by the people of China still locked up, still closed up, an entire year after it was handed over to you by the Chinese government. So you prefer your people to remain homeless and to be on the street than to give them housing that was not provided by you, that was not built by you, but that is part of a grant from the Chinese government, yet you have security guarding the complex. The complex is empty, and our citizens can't even drive down to examine the quality of the housing.
Yeah, the complex empty as your cabinet brain. But anyway.
Under the National Democratic Congress government, that will end. And the people in our communities who are vulnerable and who need the houses will be given the houses. But I want to go further and say this.
Yes, folks, and as soon as we talk about that, now they come and they start to post about Project 500. Project 500, remember, folks, they promised that they would do 500. The housing project that they spoke about was that they would be doing 500 houses a year. Since they want to, A.J. Williams and they want to play the answer in about, Project 500, it was criminal to keep the housing project closed, and you had people that need. Even in A.J. Williams constituency, you have families that would dispossess that to take them. They couldn't even put them in South St. George. They take them and they put them in the Tonga St. George in the community center over in River Road to stay. They didn't say, let us go and open 2 of the houses in Beaujeu and put the people in there. No, the condos are now too good for those people. So they take at the time, I think it was about 16 people. So the condos in Corinth, the condos that are up there in Beaujeu, they were too good for those families. Remember, it is criminal. It is criminal to have those places locked up and people need housing. How many people houses burned down in St. David between 2022 and now? This is 623 days since the individual making those statements became the Prime Minister of this country. How many people houses burned down in his constituency? We're not even looking at the other areas. In St. David, how many people lost their homes? You went and you opened the place in Corinth and you give them keys and say, well, okay, or you could stay here until we rebuild it for you all, or we help you all rebuild, or you all rebuild, or you all can stay here for 3 months, or you all can stay here for 6 months. And during that period, the process has to start for you all to rebuild on your own property because you own your property and so on, rather than you have to come here and stay permanently. Did you all open up and tell them they could stay in one of those places and provide a little bed and a little stove and a cooking gas and thing for them, at least the basic? What did you all do? You have some of these people that the house burn and them, they ain't from the Prime Minister. They ain't from them. But it was criminal under the NNP to keep those places locked down. Ain't it? 7 days before election. Yeah? 7 days before election. It's criminal. And you had the places locked down. Yeah? But now,
it's going to huff, it's going to puff, and it's going to blow the house down. It is the people who are going to be saying so. And so let me say this. Particularly to our senior citizens, our citizens who are unemployed, those who are living in poor housing conditions, those who are on the seed program, those who are the contract workers, those who are the money workers. If somebody is threatening you, if somebody is intimidating you, if somebody is telling you you shouldn't do what you want to do, you shouldn't have the right to choose, that is not somebody who's seeking your interests. That is somebody who is seeking their interests. And their sole interest is to remain in power.
Just remember, the individual speaking there is the direct line minister of the PDA. The same people that going around breaking down people place around the place and thing. That is the line minister in charge of that. And also, remember, that is the same minister of national security under whom Grenadians were told no amplified music on Independence Day. And then they had the activists, they boasting that people freed them. But anyway, let's go back and hear the rest of what you had to say.
It isn't to give you better housing. Because if they had a better housing program, they would have told you about it. If they cared about the conditions in which you live in, the Chinese housing project in Corinth would be open and Grenadians would be living in it. But instead, 7 days before an election, the Chinese housing program is still closed up. It is still closed up, and we have Grenadians who don't have places to stay, who don't have homes to live in, and it is closed. And not only is it closed, they have security guarding an empty building. I don't know if that is where the oil and the gas money is being stored. But I don't see why you'd want to have security guarding an empty building that was meant to provide housing for Grenadians, for the people of St. David. And yet still it is closed up. You have security there. You can't even drive into the compound to even see what they look like.
So let me ask, did anybody, after I played that last night, did anybody attempt to drive into the compound and see if they can get in there? Are any of you able to just go onto the compound there in St. David or any of the other facilities? The listeners out there in Carriacou, have you all been able to just go onto the compound there in Carriacou and go and view the houses and see what they look like and that sort of thing? Because I know where the security guard is now, isn't it? That may be where the brains of the cabinet is, because right now it certainly can't be in the head with this kind of nonsense they're doing. Yes, so maybe it's the brain of your cabinet that is locked up inside those empty places there right now. They may be only occupied by the brain of the members of your cabinet. Yeah? Which is why they have gotten to the stage that they are at right now, doing the nonsense that they're doing. Folks, we have a call online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
You had to have a direct line to the studio, from the studio to you on a nightly basis. This 5 call and no response is not a good thing. But that being said, the link you was mentioning last night, that's on the YouTube there, with the link to aid in to give assistance. Can people outside of Grenada utilize that link? Is it possible?
Yeah, people anywhere could use it, yeah. So in Grenada, outside of Grenada, they can use it. It's they just click on it and they'll get the instructions.
Can you provide me to me on WhatsApp?
Yes, I'll do so.
Is it possible?
Yes, I'll do that.
All right, I need to share it. Couple people asked me last night while the program was going on. That's why I was calling.
No problem.
All right, so send it to me and then I could dispense it via WhatsApp.
No problem, brother. Right. And I see you have something there, Grenada Day is coming up. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. This is the second year we venture in to do the Grenada Day in Montreal. There's a part of it I had to discuss with you, but I will do it on the radio. Bro, you had to be lying down, sitting on the floor when I hold that conversation with you. You got to be sitting on the floor. You will roll with laughter. But yeah, so that's basically our Grenada Day. And primarily is a young lady from Concord who lives right on the Niagara there, Casey Clark. She's the one that's spearheading it.
Mm-hmm.
She has always been at my camp ever since I started my entity, my radio entity. So she has always had my back from conception. So I, partnered up with her to do that. It's everything Grenada, food, clothing, everything. Trying to get everything we can to have the different market stalls. So food, consistent Grenada music. We already have a few artists who has confirmed that they will be there, and we're still working on a few others. Our friend Rootsman Kelly, a matter of fact, I had to give him a call because he was having a slight little issue to get his visa renewed. But in our last conversation, he said he spoke to someone we reached out to, who was the department boy?
Foreign affairs.
One of the ministry.
Foreign affairs.
Yeah, one of the
Foreign
ministry.
affairs would help with that. Yeah.
We reached out to them. Yes,
Or,
we reached out to
or
them.
culture, Ministry of Culture. Well,
Ministry
yeah,
of Culture,
proper
one of them.
leadership as before, but I don't know for now. But
Yeah. We was getting a kind of, string line kind of answers. But, upon last conversation, she said that, she did get a better response from them. And then when I spoke to him, he said that someone did reach out to him in regards to that. We reached out to Scholar since last year, but then he sent a message just 2 weeks ago and just said he won't be able to make it. That's it.
I want to pull the man out in ministry. What happened to the man? Man had to be in the ministry.
I mean, it's everything Grenadian, So
yeah, well, he's a Grenadian and he working in Grenada.
And he working in Grenada. We want to just give him a venture to Montreal. We come, here the French people on that side of, see how the French Grenadians go up, party. We have a few artists here in the US. And that is interested in being part of it. I reached out to a couple of folks in England. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with one of them today. He was in hospital not too long. He said came out 2 days ago. So he been prime. He'll be ready for that occasion. So all in all, it's still a work in progress. The date is already. We already got a response from the look for the venue and the date. So we had that lock. So we just putting the other things, into place now. For that aspect. But the commercial is already cut. I already did the voice of commercial. I just have to put some other things in it, like edit it up a bit. We're doing a video. And once these things are done and mastered, you will get it. We'll be sending it out to you.
Once it don't have copyrighted music in it.
Nah, we try not to do none of that.
Yeah.
We're not really using any music in it, at all. I know. Even if you put a little bit of something, you just have a few seconds of it, nothing lengthy.
Okay.
Because after a certain length of time, that's when they flag you.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, in a short, that's it for now. Another day, another time, I'll give you a lot, more details as we progress further. I'll let you know more.
Okay. Great.
But as I said, it's happening. Once again, it is the second year. Last year was the first. I wasn't able to be there because myself and the family were in Vegas. So this year we're looking forward to be there. We're looking forward to be bigger and better and moving forward, as an annual something. All right.
Well, look, people only checking. People started checking me now. They want to find you. They want to find you. They want to find you. Yeah, because now they want to set up stuff for it.
Yeah, all right. So they could just reach out to us, and then we, as I say, we liaison with the ministry because we we going through the right channels to get this stuff up to figure do what we need to do it the right way so we could have as much as the goods we need. Some of the companies we
link me for the cocoa balls and thing. Talk to me and Cammy, and we go organize it with cocoa balls and Asham and them kind of thing. Don't worry. We go link call you. All right.
Yeah. So we working along the lines with River and Twine, Class Code, and other people to have other products and so forth. All right.
Okay, my brother.
I got to reach out to Flying Turkey because he has his own little input of Grenadian products. So I'm trying to see if I could get him to have his own stall over there. He come up, have his stall, have other people. Bring lawyers, immigration lawyers, different Grenadians in a different aspect, different fields, so they could have their little booths, and so forth, moving forward. All right.
Okay, my brother.
Reach out to Horizon, Grenville Credit Union, and so because last year they were in New York for Grenada Day, so we're trying to see if we could get them up there for the 21st of July. also. So Grenadians up there could, see how they could transfer their money, and whatever, join the credit union and so forth.
Wonderful.
It's a lot, but we're working on it to get it on that, And we have something coming to Grenada, but I can't really say.
But
keep it close.
Don't say that you can't say. Leave it alone. My brother,
Yeah,
we'll
something
speak soon
you guys
again.
will like, All right, my friend. Bless.
Yeah, you have a good one.
All right.
Blessings.
You too. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, I got to pass special notification for when that studio calling this studio. That the noise radio studio. When the noise radio studio calling, I got to have a special notification in studio for that one. 440-7377 347-329-3101. One of my listeners just messaged me something, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah? But before I say what makes a lot of sense, I want us to listen to this again. Sorry, Cami, before I play it, Cami, block your eye, block your ears. About to play, block your eye and block your ears, All right, I'm about to play something there that I know you wouldn't want to hear, so block your eyes and block your ears.
Housing while they can catch themselves. It is criminal to have a woman with children in those conditions, and you have the current housing scheme provided by the people of China still locked up, still closed up.
And so it opened now, right? Okay, right. Yeah, let me go ahead.
Entire year after it was handed over to you by the Chinese government. So you prefer your people to remain homeless and to be on the street than to give them housing that was not provided by you, that was not built by you.
Because remember, while you're talking about people in streets, what about people in community centers that should be used for other activities, and you have to have people living in community centers in near substandard conditions. But anyway, between you and Andy,
It's part of a grant from the Chinese government, yet you have security guarding the complex.
What about having security guarding a building that the Prime Minister spends no time in on St. John Street? And you have police officers guarding there. No, it's not security. You have members of the Royal Grenada Police Force who would be better utilized doing other things. If you want to guard your own building, pay for your own private security and guard your own building. You don't live there. You don't stay there. You very rarely visit there. So why you have members of the Royal Grenada Police Force have to go and stand up hot sun and rain to go and look after your building on St. John Street? Hire your private security. To have a set of security companies out there. No, but you was talking about having security guarding empty building. All right, let me hear.
The complex is empty. And our citizens can't even drive down to examine the quality of the housing. Under the National Democratic Congress government, that will end.
So, they say that will end. So, has it ended? Yeah? Or has it continued? 623 days now, 623 days. All right, nice.
And the people in our communities who are vulnerable and who need the houses will be given the houses. But I want to go further and say,
remember, it's supposed to be criminal. Somebody just messaged, say, Brother Scott, the people not in the houses is criminal. Why is the Prime Minister not turning himself into the police?
It is criminal to have a woman with children in those conditions, and you have
440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. 440-7377. Sometimes you just have to remind them of what they said on the campaign trail. Yeah? And a lot of people used to be there clapping and all kind of thing because they're thinking, well, yeah, these people going and do this and they're going and do that and all kind of thing. Yeah, there's a thing. So no, nah. Yeah? There's a thing that these people actually go in and do. No. Yeah, listen, we have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Hello.
Yes, caller. You're live, caller. You're live. Go right ahead. You'll hear a click, but you go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, I'm just calling to concerning about the houses in Corinth. I was just listening to the clip there, and I think something wrong with he, because right about now these houses are locked up, and people have to pay for that right about now. Hello?
And remember, you were saying for the poor and vulnerable people, huh?
Yeah, for the poor and vulnerable. So what about they had to pay for it now and it's still locked up?
So the poor and vulnerable people have $55,000 or they have $70,000 or they have access to financing to get $55,000 or $70,000. Poor and vulnerable people don't have that.
It's true. So I don't see what you're talking about. I think you need to go back and listen to that clip and do better than that.
Anybody have a number? We go send it for him.
All right, okay.
All right, my dear. 4407. Yeah, sometimes we had to take it. Somebody, we go take the clip and we go say, somebody send the link at last night program and tonight program. Send them link for the Prime Minister. Yeah, I know one or two of you are listening to the program. Have his number. Send the link for him. I don't have it. Now, I don't want it too. No, I don't want it. Because me ain't calling him. Right? So, any of you that, because we know some of his supporters do listen to the program and we welcome you. Yeah, we know that it is more edifying and educating program over here than other places. So we welcome you and we thank you for being here with us. And we know that you will eventually make the right decision when the time comes. Yeah? So someone of you might have to send a link for tonight's program and last night's program to the Prime Minister. Because remember, the things I say, I ain't going to put up a picture again because people starting to cuss me.
Temporary housing while they can catch themselves. It is criminal to have a woman with children in those conditions.
Right. Remember, the people who lose their house in Jananglais, yeah? The people who lose their homes in Jananglais, they had children too. One of them, I think, had a 2-month-old. And what did they send them to do? Go and stay in a community center. And that was what he's saying there is criminal, Lavia.
It's criminal to have a woman with children in those conditions. And you have the current housing scheme provided by the people of China still locked up, still closed up. An entire year after it was handed over to you by the Chinese government. So you prefer your people to remain homeless and to be on the street than to give them housing that was not provided by you, that was not built by you, but that is part of a grant from the Chinese government.
So remember, the houses definitely was not built by him, negotiated by him, anything by, he had nothing to do with it. In fact, he wasn't interested in anything going on in Grenada at that point in time. Yeah? The individual speaking at one point in time was the person who represented the Netherlands, was the diplomatic representative of the Netherlands here in Grenada. How much things Grenada ever get from the Netherlands? But anyway.
You have security guarding the complex. The complex is empty. And our citizens can't even drive down to examine the quality of the housing.
So according to the listener that messaged me, find out then, why does he have police officers down at his facility, at his place on St. John Street? Why is there a necessity to have police officers there? He doesn't stay there. He stays at another location while Prime Minister's residence sits empty. The same individual who on the campaign trail, we got to talk about it. Same individual who was on the campaign trail talking about government wasting money, renting all over the place. That government have buildings and all they should do is fix up the buildings and so on. But no, the same individual, I will play it tomorrow night for you all. Look out for that because we have some new clips. Alert, new clips tomorrow night. Yeah, so I'm telling all you from now. Alert, new clips tomorrow night. The same person was talking about government renting here, there, and they have buildings in town and they have places in town that they should use and they're wasting money. It's the same individual who they're spending $24,000 for where they're staying right now, while Prime Minister residence not only sits empty. If you think that it needs to be modernized or remodeled, not even a plan, not even funding, not even a start has taken place with rebuilding. If you say you want to break down what's there and they want to build something new. That is one thing, but not even that has taken place. We have a caller online.
Hello, good night, Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night, sir.
I'm listening to the program, the clip you're playing there. I am just logging. According to Mr. Pierre, well, the Prime Minister, he really is a fake. As Mr. Pierre always say, and those others are, I really agree with Mr. Pierre, those are vultures, man. They are a group of vultures, they don't care about people. He's saying one thing and he's doing the opposite. Nah, man, he ain't ready yet. He ain't ready yet. He don't know what he's saying, man. He had to come out there. Have a blessed night.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, indeed, because since he came into office, many people have lost their houses to fire in St. David. Didn't go and open there and say they're putting them inside there. The people who lose their homes in Jean Anglais, who right now you see them in town with local thing trying to collect money and they say they're building back and thing and they're trying to build and so on. Come, post about Project 500. You think Grenadians forget that we were supposed to get 500 homes within the new year, the first year? We are about to hit the 24 months. In other words, 2 years. And we ain't seen none of the 500 houses that should have been built in the first instance. We have a call online. Good night.
Shirley.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
And good night to you, sir.
Today I passed about 20 minutes past 9. I passed on by the tunnel there where the electoral office is. 20 past 9. And the place didn't open yet. I saw the same iron thing in front of the door. I remember you tell them, you say that you wanted to know or you see people when there or something like that. But it was closed on a past day. And it should open from 9 o'clock. I think until 12. And between 12 and 1 is lunch. And then you open from 1 again up to around 2 or 3 o'clock. Something like that. But it was closed.
Yeah.
The next thing is that the clips that you played there, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't really want to see the pictures. But, however, he said that the storage there in the houses is the oil and gas money. They might have inside it. No, it's not that money what was there. It's CBI money and them they have stored up there. so that is why you see you have security there and nobody can go inside there now. So you take care of yourself. Have a good night and reach home safe.
All right, thank you. You know Sheldon Douglas have a part in his song where you see like your cabinet brain lock in a vault? Yeah. I feel the vault inside one of them places at them day. Because seriously, talk about Project 500. Again, are the Project 500 houses for the poor and vulnerable? Or again, are people going to have to go and find $55 and $60 and $70 and $80 and $100,000 to be able to afford one of those homes? Especially those with the pool and thing, and then suppose our front yard, backyard pool and all kind of thing. Yeah, well, you see, watch. I think the Prime Minister used to brush his teeth with a bottle of honey because he did talking real sweet. Yeah, man, I think he was brushing his teeth with a bottle of honey.
Under the National Democratic Congress government, that will end. And the people in our communities who are vulnerable and who need the houses will be given the houses.
But they're not being given, they're being sold the houses. So let me hear him again there.
Under the National Democratic Congress government, that will end. And the people in our communities who are vulnerable and who need the houses will be given the houses.
Yeah, people say they want to see your face. So I had to kind of pull it back like this. Yeah, I can't put your face up because people complaining. Right? I had to listen to my listeners. I had to listen to Kiami. I don't want Kiami pressure to go up. I had to listen to people like Kiami and so on. I can't put your face there. Right. So the people, let me hear what you say.
Of the housing. Under the National Democratic Congress government, that will end. And the people in our communities who are vulnerable and who need the houses will be given the houses.
But they ain't been given. They had to buy it and they had to spend 50 something or 70 something $1,000. And if they're vulnerable, I want to know, because even if you're vulnerable and you go to the institution and they say using the place as security, if you have no source of income, the financial institution ain't listening to you. So you may need the place. You may be vulnerable to the point of where you need the place, but you have no source of income. And regardless of what you have to provide as security, if you go to the financial institution and you can't prove I'm going to be able to pay back this way, that way, the other way, they ain't bothering with you. You think they have time with you?
Of the housing. Under the National Democratic Congress government, that will end. And the people in our communities who are vulnerable and who need the houses will be given the houses.
And you hear them, yes! You hear them in the back, yes! You understand? So we still want to know, why are you having security guarding, well, not security, police officers? If you go and you check Grenada Security Services or one of those companies and you say, okay, I would like to have a security officer there 24/7, that is one thing. Use your own money out of your business to protect your business place/place of abode. But to go and take members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, who could have been going in schools and interacting with the young people, who could have been, instead of guarding there, or following the leader of the opposition around, or following opposition MPs or executive members around, driving behind them when they're going different places and macking them, trying to snap them in smart every minute they go places. Instead of those police officers being engaged in those nonsensical, idiotic, and basically wasteful behaviors, they could have been engaged in going and talk with our young people, trying to put them on the right path. They could have been engaged in going and following the people who you all have identified as being involved in the drug trade or being some of the people that are bringing firearms into this country. Yeah? But no, it doesn't seem as though they are important. It's either they ain't important or there's only a friend. It's one or the other. They're not important or there's only friends who are protecting them. But it's either or. Yes, I know 10 o'clock gone. So it's either or. So you all need to do what you have to do. So if you want to protect your building, don't take police officers and put them there in the sun and rain. I just pass them there and I just feel sorry for them. Because I have to pass around there every morning. And not a morning you ever see the Prime Minister around there. Once, I think I see the vehicle there maybe about a year and some ago. Once. So I don't know. What is the use of having police officers there to guard there? Go and check a security company and get them to guard there like you had them guarding a certain other facility I wouldn't talk about. Okay, it involves your family. Go and pay a private security, or give a security contract to one of those security companies that were formed last year to take over all those contracts. Why ain't go and check one of them and get security to go and watch your place? Why is police officers you have to take to punish and put there? Anyway, folks, you know what? That's all the time we have for tonight. It's been wonderful being here. I am out of here. And folks, tomorrow night we'll be having our Friday night forum. It's going to be a very interesting one. As I said, we are going to be playing clips after clips after clips after clips. Clips that I have not played before and maybe one or two that we have played before. We are going to be playing. So tomorrow night's a clips night. Yeah, I ease up on it tonight. But tomorrow night, we're going to be having a clips night tomorrow night. You see, I talked about the machine last time. One of we listeners say, no, we can't have that happening and thing. Check so by so. Bam. All you see clips in your tail. All right, nice. So tomorrow night, we're going to be having several clips, different things. So we need to come on from early. We're starting from earlier. No, it's still 8 o'clock. But we're starting the thing early. And we're rolling the ball. Right? Good. So in everything you say and everything you do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. I know I like this song, but I really like this song. And you had to listen to this song. Okay, what the time of day? The Prime Minister number is 666. But what does do all? I ain't calling that number now. Folks, I'm out here. Listen to this one carefully. Yeah? This song has a serious message in it. It's what I started with, and I'll end with it tonight.
set me free. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight reward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight reward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you better serve the searchlight inward. And if you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Search me, oh God, and know my heart. Search me, try me, oh Savior. Know my thoughts, I pray. See if there be some wicked ways in me. Oh, cleanse me from every sin and set me free. If you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. And if you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must earn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord.